Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tamara and today we're gonna do the second part of our State of Ethics episode. The last time we talked about the vanity of so-called artists, and today we're gonna explore a little bit more when it comes to this issue. For those ones who are coming back to the channel, welcome back. Thanks for subscribing. For those who haven't subscribed yet, please do, so you will get notifications every time I upload material. And for those ones new to the channel, welcome to the channel. This is a channel in which we talk about art and culture in a very open but honest way. As I have already said, this is the second installment of an episode that I started this week, which involves a little bit talking about the ethical or unethical behavior of artists, and also how society somehow in some way rewards that unethical behavior. So if you didn't see that video, please go and watch it now, because it will give you a little bit of a background of what we're gonna talk today. As I have mentioned previously, this year I'm exploring ethics in general when it comes to art and culture. It's not an easy task because there are so many things that you have to take into consideration. We're not here to bash anybody. This is not a gossip channel. We're not here reacting on people's work or on people's private lives. What I'm doing is using examples that everybody can relate to from popular culture and analyze it when it comes to, in this case, the focus of our attention is ethics. You know, I have already done a definition of what ethics is. So if you haven't seen my other ethics episodes, please go and watch them, because I have already talked extensively on the subject. And now what I'm trying to do is applying this knowledge to popular culture. That's the thing that I wanted to say. So on our last chapter, we started talking about the vanity of pseudo artists, or the vanity of so-called artists. I made the example of Jennifer Lopez because it's what's going on today. People are talking about her. They're talking about her work, or, you know, I mean, you know, it's a little bit difficult subject to tackle, because once again, I'm not here to bash anybody, but I'm using her as an example because she's a great example of somebody who has conducted herself unethically for a huge portion of her career. She's obviously not the only one, so I kind of dismantled a little bit the problems attached to Jennifer Lopez as an ethical or unethical artist, you know, and why she's receiving the backlash that she's receiving today. Once again, she's not the only one receiving backlash. There are other people associated to her, like P. Diddy, that are going through very similar issues, although the accusations are very different. I'm not necessarily saying that one is equaling the other, but you know, on our last video I talked about how we allow these people for 25 years to be whoever we always knew they were, and for some reason today is a problem, is an issue, when 25 years ago it wasn't. So to what extent are we as society also responsible for, at times, monstrous behavior? So today I will continue this trend because there are other things from popular culture that I believe we need to talk about, and we cannot just let it fly. So, okay, here we go. Kim Kardashian. Okay, I don't think I have to explain a lot about Kim Kardashian, although we can all agree that we I mean, like Jennifer Lopez and like many other people, they seem to be very famous for being famous, but not necessarily because there is this overwhelming talent that surrounds them. Like, I don't know, they do artistic masterpieces, you know. We know that Kim Kardashian became famous because of a very intimate video. Some people will argue that that video was sold in purpose for her to become famous. Of course, she denies it, and several members of her family denied it too. But then she, along with her family, became a reality star, and you know, keeping up with the Kardashians, how it used to be called, it's not exactly a lesson in aesthetics, philosophy, and cultural appreciation, shall we say. Like most reality TV, you know, it's pretty much brainless. But it has made them millions, to the point that they were able to build up an empire. You know, several members of the Kardashian family are into, you know, very successful makeup ranges. I'm thinking Kylie Jenner. They're selling clothes. I mean, it's great. You know, they're great business people, like Jennifer Lopez. You know, she's very good at selling stuff, but when it comes to be an artist, that's a very different conversation. Now, what bothers me the most about Kim Kardashian, besides the fact that she's famous for the sake of being famous, she has millions of followers on her Instagram. She takes great pictures, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if I had to pinpoint what her real talent is. It's definitely not in the arts. So you'll be forgiven to be confused by the recent issue of Variety. Variety, it's an entertainment magazine that, quite frankly, it used to be quite important in the industry, in the Hollywood industry, but today the credibility has really gone down the toilet. Let's be realistic, you know. But Variety has this issue in which actors interview other actors and they interact. And obviously, by being actors, they talk about acting, they talk about their work. So this is something that, you know, this is an ongoing trend that Variety had. And I have to be honest, it's interesting that actors talk to other actors and they kind of interact in between them. But Variety has done this scene of, for whatever reason, I'm not sure, inviting Kim Kardashian, and she was put on the cover of Variety on the series Actors on Actors, and she was put next to Chloe Sevigny, or Sevigny, that I believe that's how you pronounce it. I think it's French. Chloe, I remember her because she is an Academy Award nominee actress for her work for Boys Don't Cry. If I'm not wrong, she was nominated like 24 years ago in the year 2000. A movie that she did with, damn it, I forgot her name. She would eventually win the Oscar as well for a movie that she did with Clint Eastwood. Okay, never mind, you know, it will come back to me. But what I'm trying to say is that she's an Academy Award nominated actress. I believe she's also a Golden Globe winner for a series that she did that was a quite interesting series called Big Love. She has had her issues, you know, throughout the time regarding some of the choices, some of the so-called artistic choices that she has made, but nevertheless, in my eyes, she's an actress, you know, and in the eyes of the industry, she's an actress. So it's quite interesting that Variety has decided to pair these two people together, because one is an actress, an acclaimed one at that, and the other one is not. And yet there is a full interview, a cringy interview that you can see with Chloe, talking about, in a kind of a cliche way as well, don't get me wrong. She's talking about the art of acting and what motivates her and so forth. And she tries to be the insightful one, the philosophical one in the conversation. And then you hear Kim Kardashian saying stupid things like, the reason why she likes movies, it's because of the look and because of the makeup and because of the image. It's a really cringe-worthy interview. But why is it cringe-worthy? Because we have two people that one has nothing to do with the craft of the other. So for Chloe to sit down and endure this and even accept, I will be like, no, sit me with an actor or an actress that I haven't worked with, know somebody who isn't. So of course this has created a lot of controversy, because why would you put Kim Kardashian at the forefront of, she's in the cover, in the actual cover, actors on actors? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But Variety has decided to do so. So where is Variety's credibility? Well, actually has been going down the toilet for a bit. Right now, Variety has an article on poor Jennifer Lopez and how her failure is our fault because we do not accept strong women. You need to go and read and laugh that article because it's insane. How we gloat on the failure of, how we like to put down strong women. What the hell are you talking about, Variety? It's clear as a day that Jennifer Lopez has bought your opinion, because no one in the right mind would publish a stupid article like that. So Variety is the same magazine that now wants to convince us that Kim Kardashian is an actress and she's worth to be on the cover of Actors on Actors. The nerve of Kim Kardashian. She's not an actress. Some people say, well, she did a cameos here and there in some movies. That doesn't make you an actor, girl. You're not an actress. So the audacity that you have to accept even the concept of being on the cover of a magazine calling yourself an actress, to me, it's outstanding. It's outrageous. But this is the problem. She's famous. She has more money than God. And to a certain extent, we as a society are also responsible for her success. Looking back on our previous conversation that we had on somebody like Jennifer Lopez, who has been accused of not singing her own songs, we cancelled Vanilla Ice for less. Sorry, no, Vanilla Ice. Wrong. Well, we did cancel Vanilla Ice as well, because apparently as a white guy, he couldn't be a rapper. But you remember Milli Vanilli? And they won a Grammy, and then all of a sudden we found out that they weren't the ones singing their own songs. We bashed them. One of the guys committed suicide because of depression. So Milli Vanilli, no. Jennifer Lopez, yes. Other actors that could have been on the cover. Let's talk about the actors that cannot get work because they don't have the connections, because they refuse to sleep with people. Because, they may know, the correct director or writer or casting agent. Do you know what I mean? And yet we give people the honor to call themselves actors on a Variety cover. And what about all the other unemployed actors and actresses out there? I cannot remain silent about this. I'm sorry. I cannot remain silent. I cannot remain silent on the fact that Milli Vanilli, we canceled them. Oh my God, you don't sing your own songs. Canceled them. We banished them. Took their Grammy away. But somebody like Jennifer Lopez, she continues and she ends up doing monstrosities like "This Is Me, dot, 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 now. The greatest love story never told. This Is Me, dot, 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 now. The movie." It's like, it's outrageous how we have famous people thinking that they can do whatever no matter what, calling themselves artists when they're not. So I cannot remain silent about Kim Kardashian on the cover of Variety. I don't know whose idea was that. She should be ashamed. But once again, is it only their fault? We as a society, we keep on applauding them. And the more we applaud them, the more their ego goes up. But Kim Kardashian is unacceptable as an actress, like Jennifer Lopez is unacceptable as a singer. And guess what? I wish this would be the end of the conversation today, but no, we need to talk about Northwest, Kim Kardashian's daughter. She recently appeared on the Hollywood Bowl as part of the 30-year celebration of The Lion King. I don't know if you remember this, but you know, The Lion King, the Disney movie, came out 30 years ago in 1994. It was a huge success. I remember because I watched it. I went to the cinema and watched it, and it was super popular. I remember that, you know, the cinema was virtually, there were no more seats, and this is in the middle of somewhere in Latin America. Then, of course, the musical came about. You know, the music was written by Elton John. I believe he won an Oscar even for the music. You know, very well designed. See, that's an artist. Regardless of what you think of Elton John as a person, that's an artist. The guy knows his music. Do you know what I mean? You know, and all of a sudden, 30 years later, we have Northwest singing a song as part of a tribute celebrating The Lion King, and the girl can't sing. And a lot of people are like, well, you know, this is not really Northwest's fault. It's the fault of her parents. You know, parents are Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. What do you expect? Well, I expect more. If you are gonna go on stage singing a song without auditioning, I expect you to be incredibly, amazingly good. I expect you to be at the top de la creme de la creme. I expect you to be that. And Northwest, you're not. It was clear that she was unprepared. It was clear that she didn't know what she was doing, because on stage she needed to be pointed out constantly. Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to come out of this way. It pisses me off for the dancers up there that they were all dressed up in different animals. They were dancing, they were doing their thing. Probably they studied many years in order, you know, to achieve their craft. They had to audition, and here we have somebody that doesn't have the talent, doesn't even have the character to be on stage, because, you know, we can all improve if you study and you make the effort and you pay your way, which is not the case of Northwest. She was there. I don't really know why. Some people claim that the producers of The Lion King are also the producers of the Kardashian show, so there might be the connection there. Kim Kardashian should have been like, no, my daughter is not trained on anything, and you know, I'm not gonna put her on stage for all of you to shred her to pieces. But she has no consciousness. She has zero awareness, I guess. I mean, if she called herself an actor and she's not, obviously she has zero awareness. I don't know what Kanye West thinks of this, but Jesus, Lord Almighty, I mean, it was terrible, and she doesn't have stage presence. And a lot of people are like, well, she's only 9 years old. No, I'm afraid that we cannot unsee what we saw. Yes, it may not be directly her fault, but unfortunately she was the one on stage. So we need to talk about what we saw. We saw nepotism at its best or at its worst, depends how you look at it. We saw people that are incredibly untalented, but they have the right connections. They're sons and daughters of. So you know what? It doesn't matter if you never took a singing lesson in your life. It doesn't matter if you have never been in a theater in your life. I'm going to put you up. And the lack of awareness, not only from her mother, because there is something very interesting that Kim Kardashian has said about her children, that she cannot say no to her children. So on top of that, she's not only a bad role model for calling herself stuff that she's not, she's even a bad mother. Because a good mother would have been like, hey, North, I don't care that you want to do the Lion King. You can't sing. You've never done the work, you know, and there are millions of children out there that have done the work, and yet they don't get the opportunity. You know what, girl? Learn your way, like everybody else has had to. So I'm gonna finish now my rant. Sorry about this, you know, again, you know, it's not about me bashing anybody, but we need to talk about these things and we cannot let it pass. It is unethical for you to be on stage when you haven't learned the songs, when you don't know how to sing, when you don't know how to act, when you haven't paid your way, when you haven't done your work, when you haven't auditioned, but because you're the daughter or the son of. So since your mother is not teaching you the education that you need, now society has to tell you, girl, no. And to be very fair and honest with you, for what I saw, I don't think there are things that can be fixed only with education and training, because artists must have a stage presence. They have a charisma, and Northwest doesn't have it. Now, she can be in the future very good at other things. We don't know what those things are. Maybe she'll end up being a good businesswoman like her mother is. Or, you know, because once again, the Kardashians were able to turn it around and make themselves billions, and good on them. But you're not actors, you're not singers. Please, we don't want you on stage. We don't want you on the cover or any magazine calling yourself something that you're not. Guys, we need to call it like it is. So rather than being upset because people are talking about a 9-year-old, and I believe it's unfortunate that we need to talk about a 9-year-old, but since she doesn't have the awareness and neither has her mother, we will need to teach these people that, hey girl, you need to stay on your lane. You don't know this thing, don't put yourself up. On today's age where everything can be recorded and put on internet, no. Nori, I don't know whether she went to her mother and was like, yeah, I'll do it. Or, no, mom, you know what? I don't really want to do it. This is not my thing. Oh, no, you're going to do it anyway. I don't know who is really there doing what, but based on the fact that Kim Kardashian can never say no, because she said so, she can never say no to her children. You know, we cannot discount either that perhaps Northwest got really excited about it. However, it is clear that she hasn't put the work. So rather than complain about the fact that she's a 9-year-old and we shouldn't judge her, we should judge everybody. We should judge everybody when they are not on the place that they're supposed to be. And unfortunately for Northwest, she will have to learn this at this age. You know, there is a lot of more of information out there. I'm going to try to also add a few links for you to see the reactions. And, you know, I don't do reactions. I don't do gossip. All I'm trying to say is that from a philosophical point of view, from an honest point of view, from an open conversation about arts and culture, we cannot have these people ruining art and culture. We cannot. I'm sorry. We cannot. And we need to stop rewarding them. We need to stop applauding them. We need to be as a society, we need to be fair. Because if we're not and we continue applauding these people actually believe that they're bigger than God. They actually believe that they can sing. They actually believe that they can... another beautiful thing about Jennifer Lopez, right now she's complaining, you know. We saw her on the streets, you know, basically telling paparazzi, hey, you know,